Alright, next up in the workshop, Giga-Robo. More giant robots. Hey guys, welcome back to Paint Slinger. We are going to continue working on our Giga-Robo figure. His name is Shinōkami, and I know I'm probably way hardcore mispronouncing that, but that's okay. Here he is, all primed, ready to go. Yes, I know he doesn't have his hands on, but that's okay. I'm leaving the hands off so we can get into the chest area and make sure that we get all cool and fancy detail. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on some of the blue, and we are going to use a color that I actually haven't used yet, Thousand Suns Blue, as a base. So we are going to take our medium layer brush. Now these guys were pretty. Now he was pretty easy and pretty good to put together. So I'm kind of hoping that I'm not gonna, it's not too many pieces. So I'm kind of hoping that it will be pretty good to put together and paint up. But anyway. Alright. Now I do have a picture just off to my left, so I make sure that I'm getting all the proper blue in all the proper places. Because wouldn't that be a kick in the pants to not have it quite right? What kind of paint slinger would I be? If I didn't look at what I was doing. You guys wouldn't trust me. You guys wouldn't follow me. You guys wouldn't think that you guys would lose faith in that I knew what I was doing. Which is true. Sometimes I really don't. But I try my very best to do what I can. Now I don't have a picture of the backside, so I'm going to have to extrapolate what I think it would be, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. Then that's too bad, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Some of it, you have pictures and things to go off of, and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. And then, of course, other times, you just kind of have to make stuff up on the fly. I think this is how it would look. Like you have a basic idea, and you just kind of hope for the best. And of course, going over the black with this blue, you're going to want two thin coats to make it nice and solid. And I smile because one of my favorite mini painters, that's kind of like his sort of catchphrase is two thin coats. So when I get to say it, it kind of brings a smile to my face, because, you know, no, I understand, because I am also doing the painting, and I understand the two thin coats. Well, how's everybody out there? I hope everybody's still staying safe, taking care of one another, and doing the best that they can to, you know, remain vigilant about social distancing and all that good stuff. I do know that, you know, on Thursday, some of the restrictions were eased up a little bit, and some stores were opened, and, you know, it still doesn't mean that you shouldn't take care and still only really try and go out if you have to go. Just because the regulations are relaxed doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet. I take myself for example. I am immunocompromised, which basically means that my immune system isn't up to snuff with most other people's. And in doing so, I have to be just a little bit more wary, a little bit more careful about where I go and what I do, and all that good stuff. So if I don't have to, I'm still not leaving the house. You know, which, for a person like me who likes to be out and about and looking through all my geeky shops and stuff like that, this is tough. This has been very tough. I like to, you know, even if I don't get anything for myself, I like to, you know, window shop and dream about getting this and getting that. And looking out for cool things. But here I am. You know, living the introvert's dream. I'm inside, doing not much. But that's okay. You know, all of my nerdy get-togethers this year so far, anyway, have been canceled. Not even postponed, but just outright canceled. So, no conventions for me. That means no, picking up nerdy stuff, nerdy cool stuff that I like. Everything is by mail order. And although it is cool to go down to your mailbox and see a package with your name on it, and then opening it up like it's Christmas time, and having cool stuff inside, there's I still like to go to the store and browse what's what's there, as opposed to looking at pictures on a computer. And then hitting a button, buy me now. But we'll get this mess sorted out. Things will come together. Things will be all right. Now that I've done my lamenting, and I've done my little bit of a rant, and still hoping that everybody's safe, taken care. It's time to get back to the important things, and the important things are miniature painting. So far, actually, this guy's actually pretty cool. I don't really have much in the negative way to say about these things, about these guys. I mean, this is the only one that I've got. I don't have any more. Although I think it'd be kind of fun to do a set of these guys up. And now, even though I'm following, sort of a color guide as to what these are, how these guys show, doesn't mean you can paint them up however you want. Like I said, I'm purposely doing this one the same colors as, or close to the same colors. Anyway, trying to match up what I can as best I can. I'm actually kind of enjoying this fella. Kind of cool. Now, I don't know enough about the game, unfortunately, to tell you if this guy is and you can't even see what I'm doing. So let me turn the camera over this way here. There we go. So we can't even, I don't even know if this guy's a good guy or a bad guy. But doesn't really matter at this point. It's just kind of something fun to paint up. Like, I have a little write-up here on him, but it still doesn't tell me whether or not it's a good guy or a bad guy. It says, Shinōkami is a ferocious machine containing the regenerating remains of a kaiju inside its chassis and channeling its natural giga energy into a wild frenzy of attacks. While up close, Shinōkami has a dangerous array of reliable combo options that can inflict a variety of trauma tokens. At a distance, it can uniquely interact with static barriers, warping itself and its attacks through them, consistently keeping your opponents guessing where it will unleash its fury next. That sounds pretty darn cool. Still doesn't tell me if it's a good guy or a bad guy. Just tells me that he's kind of badass and he's got a giant monster spirit living inside him. Which, hey, that's also freaking cool. I'm down with giant monsters. And the fact that they're actually using, you know, I guess the proper Japanese term for the giant monster, which is kaiju. It's pretty cool. And if I'm mistaken, and I can be, and I will be, and I have been, and if anybody out there is in the comments will correct me, then I will take that and I will run with it. So what we're doing is we're just really working on the blue. We're trying to figure out. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's blue, what's gray, what's what's what on this guy. Yeah, but the details actually really good on them. It's crisp. You know what? Even though it doesn't really show it, I kind of feel like it should be. This guy's pretty cool. It's kind of got like an animal head of some kind. It might be tiger. It might be a dragon. I don't really know. But kind of like it. I think it looks pretty cool. Now a lot of this guy is gonna be gray. I mean, we got blue parts here. We got blue parts there. We got some yellow parts or gold, but I'm just gonna do them yellow. Either way, it's gonna look pretty. It's gonna look pretty solid. I think it's gonna look pretty darn cool. Or at least I think he's gonna look pretty darn cool anyway. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the paint so far. It looks pretty cool. I said a lot of it's going to be kind of like a standard gray or different tones of gray with some blue and some yeller. And I'm using my medium layer brush. Probably could use my medium base brush, but I wanted a little bit more control over what I was doing. So here I am. It's taking a little bit longer. I mean, I'm only on the blue. And we still have a lot of robot to paint. But, you know, from what I've surmised from looking at least pictures of the game, it looks like it's a robo combat game that takes place in a city, and it looks like you might be able to smash things. You know, smash. I mean, not only smash your opponent, but you might be able to smash um, stuff in the city as well. And if that's the case, that's really cool. There's not too many games out there that have environmental destruction, you know, kind of built into the game. Yeah, I think he's looking pretty darn good. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of gray. Maybe I'll change it up. We'll have some gray and we'll have some silver. See how that looks. Just for, you know, just for differences, different tones, different looks. Probably be cool. You know, you never know. Actually, really liking this blue. So again, you know, like I said, we don't have shots of the back. So I'm just gonna kind of work on what I think the back would look like. And hopefully I get it close to what it actually is. If I don't, I guess I don't. But that's okay. I mean, you don't really want to see the back of the miniature. You want to see the front of the miniature. You want to see where all the action is. You know, unless you're trying to copy the paint job, and then in which case you probably want to see the back. I know I do. I want to see the back. I want to see how it's put together. Or not necessarily put together, but, you know, painted up. Making sure that I'm on the right track. Man, I have got to do something about my cameras. That's okay though. My studio is a work in progress. It changes. The paint pit changes a little bit every time. Sometimes for the better, sometimes maybe not. And then if it doesn't work, I change it back. Right now, this is about the best that I have for an overhead camera, and it's even that I don't like it. I want a true overhead camera, so you can poof. So even if I pull it up here and I'm looking, you know, you guys can still see what it is that I'm painting. I know that sometimes when I pull it up here, you guys are just staring at my hands that are moving, and you guys can't really see what I'm doing. But this is what I'm, you know, every now and then I'll show you. I'll stop and I'll kind of show you what's going on. So it's just putting blue on. Just putting the blue. Then we're going to go over the blue with a slightly lighter blue. Because in the pictures and stuff like that I've seen, he's got it's kind of a pale blue. We'll get that all figured out. It'll be interesting. So far, I'm really enjoying putting this guy together. Putting paint to him anyway. The pieces went together actually quite well, as we saw in the last video. The pieces went together quite well, quite fast. And that was nice. So yeah, I like it when miniatures aren't too finicky. I mean, I don't mind a little bit, but I'm not here to, you know, as much of a model as they are as much of a model kit as they are a gaming piece. At the end of the day, you know, they're designed to be a gaming piece. So if they're a little hard to put together, might make them less effective as a gaming piece. But if they're not too bad, you know, it's a couple pieces here and there. And we're okay. Well, our half hour is about up for today, and you can see we've barely scratched the surface on this guy. This guy's going to take a little bit of time to paint up. So probably by the time we come back, I'll have the blue, maybe part of the yellow done. I don't know. We'll see. And if I do have the yellow done, of course, I'm going to tell you what colors I used and all that kind of stuff, and continue on. I won't have all the yellow done necessarily, but it's very possible that I'll even have, you know, the second layer of blues done, I'll have the you know, the highlight part of it done. Maybe we'll go on to some of the grays and silver. Who knows? But I want everybody out there to continue to stay safe and heed what everybody, you know, what your regional health ministers and health guidelines are saying about this pandemic thing. You know, don't be one of the foolish ones necessarily, but just want everybody to go out there to be safe and continue to watch the old paint slinger work. Which would be me. Alright. So I know we're running a little long. You know, we're a minute over, but that's okay. It's my time and it's the internet. There's no, you know, we're not waiting for the next program to start. You know. But so far, we have, oh, my sheet went to, you know, let me see, we have some of the blue put down. Oh, well, whatever. Oh, there it is. I find it. There we go. There we are. Just the blue so far. We have a long way to go. We got yellow, we got grays, we got silvers, we got reds, all that kind of good stuff. So until then, paint safe, stay at home if you can, only go out if you have to, and we'll see you in the workshop.